Well, it's another one of them days, drivers, where we have a breakdown or we have an emergency situation where we need to get off the road. You know, a lot of times we want to try to take care and see if we can pull off someplace that's totally off the road, like a parking lot or rest area, a truck stop. But sometimes they're not afforded to us, and we need to get off as soon as we can. When I pick those locations, I want to pick someplace safe for me, maybe a shoulder, maybe safe for the person working on the truck, and also when I'm leaving, I want to see if I got enough room to be able to get up to speed and gracefully get out onto the highway without impeding anybody. But it's one of them days, you know, it's stressful, but it's very important to stay calm and also have a plan a little bit. You know, the weather could be cold, could be hot. Make sure you got your proper footwear on and always have that extra garment near you in case you got to get out of the truck at a moment's notice. A few things to remember. The only reason we should be pulling off on a shoulder like this or the emergency lane is going to be for a mechanical breakdown. That's a serious one. We need to get off the road now. Maybe a mechanical issue, maybe a medical emergency for ourselves, or maybe we'll be pulling over to assist a stranded motorist. Someone we need to assist with, maybe somebody had an emergency. Other than that, we really don't need to be pulling over for any other reason. It's too dangerous. It's causing risk to us and other people. And we also just don't want to have that headache of trying to get out into the traffic. Let's hurry up and get these triangles out so we can stay safe. One thing to keep in mind, drivers, is, you know, we have a bunk truck and some may have a day cab, but always know where your emergency equipment is. Always make sure you're accessible from inside the cab. You don't want to get on this driver's side. You want to be a sitting duck sitting out here with this traffic. So we're going to go ahead and open up the bunk here, get our triangles out, and we're going to get out on that passenger side using our 3 points of contact. And we're going to quickly get these triangles out so we can get ourselves into a safe situation. I got my triangles out. Now it's going to be time for me to get outside the vehicle. Don't forget, always have your PPE on. You want to have something highly visible to the traffic behind us before we get out. Make sure you use your 3 points of contact to get out of the truck. Well, drivers, you know what they say. When you have a breakdown, you got to make sure you put the triangles out so you have high visibility for the motorist public. I like to get mine out on the end of the trailer and start turning them so the public can see them, the motorist. Hopefully it just helps me out to be a little safer. And then we got to talk about how far do we put them out. We're definitely going to try to do 4 paces, 40 paces, and then 40 paces, and hopefully that's going to give us enough visibility for the public. And we're going to make sure we don't turn our back on that public too, okay? All right, everybody, let's do it. And don't forget, always turn these so they look like 4 points onto the bottom.
Always assume other motorists do not know your situation. When possible, avoid exiting on the driver's side. Never stand between the tractor and the roadway. This is a dangerous location.
Well, drivers, you always want to try to always get out that passenger side away from the traffic. There could be very few instances where maybe that's not afforded to you. Maybe the right door, the passenger door is disabled because of an accident. Maybe you're up against a guardrail or barrier, but when you do need to gauge your time right with the traffic. Once you do get out, make sure you don't sit there and waste time. If you can, walk back on the passenger side and put out your triangles. If you do need to be on that driver's side, make sure you watch your traffic and go as swiftly and safely as you can to get these triangles out. Be careful, drivers. If you do have to get out this side, get out of the way as quick as you can, because what you don't want to be is a sitting duck.
Let's look at a dash cam clip that highlights this danger.
I've been called a lot in my 23 years, but Donkey of the Day is a new one.
Yeah, Donkey of the Day for Monday, September 18th. Oh, Monday.
Donkey of the Day is a new one.
Yeah, Donkey of the Day.
Never stand between the tractor and the roadway. This is a dangerous location.
All right, guys, lucky for me, my breakdown situation is done, and so that part's good. But now we got to stay more focused than ever. Now we got to safely get ourselves back onto the highway and out into the roadway without being a danger. A few things you got to take in consideration. Are you near a crest of a hill? Are you loaded? How heavy are you going to be? How long is it going to take to get up to speed? You're also worrying about, if you're near an intersection, can you use the red light behind you to help facilitate when you're going to pull out? There's things for you to keep in mind. Also got to make sure with the roadway we're dealing with, how much distance do I have to get up to speed? And don't forget, when I do pull off, I don't want to have my four-way flashers on. I want to make sure I got my left signal on and get up as much speed as I can over on this shoulder. And then I got to make sure that once I do that roadway, if I'm below 40, 45 mile an hour, I want to make sure I got my four-way flashers on. And once I get up to speed, turn them off. As you guys may have seen, I had a conversation with our breakdown provider behind us. And I let him know that what I'd like him to do is stay there while I picked up my triangles. So this way we got his blinking lights. It's going to help people see us. I was able to do that, put them away. And we also had a conversation about me safely getting on the highway. If I have him behind me when I merge out into the roadway, that's going to help me. Luckily, I have some pretty good distance here. So my plan of action here is I'm going to start pulling out with my left blinker on. He's going to stay behind me. We're going to hopefully get up enough speed to get out on the highway safely. Once I do hit that roadway, I'm going to make sure four-way flashers on. Let's see if we can safely get on the roadway without getting ourselves or anybody else injured. So please take caution in what we're about to do. Have a good day, drivers.
Pro tips: be prepared for the unexpected. It is important to stay calm and stay focused. Maintain your composure. Don't rush. Always stay alert. Have a plan for a safe exit from the road while keeping in mind your eventual re-entry to the roadway. If you must pull over or stop, the best option is one where you are completely off the roadway, such as a parking lot, rest area, or truck stop. The emergency lane, or shoulder, should only be utilized for emergencies such as mechanical breakdown, medical or health emergencies, or assisting other motorists in distress. If the only available option is a roadside stop, choose a location that will reduce the risk of becoming involved in an accident. An exit or entrance ramp may be the next best option. The ramp entering the highway is preferable as traffic is generally moving slower. Select a location with ample space, no blockades or barriers, and preferably a location with a flat, grassy area off the shoulder to give yourself additional room. Consider the length of the emergency lane in front of the location where you are pulling off. Give yourself as much space to build up speed when you are ready to merge back onto the roadway. You should also consider traffic and road behind you. Is there a traffic light that you can use to plan your re-entry? Is there a curve or hill behind you? Signal your intentions ahead of time. Reduce speed and smoothly pull over, coming to a complete stop. Once you are in the emergency lane, turn on your hazards. Notify the appropriate people. That may be a driver manager or dispatcher. They will assist you in the next steps. Exiting the cab. Ideally, you want to keep your emergency equipment accessible from within the cab. Whenever possible, always exit from the passenger side. While this may not be natural, it is the safest way to exit when you are parked on the side of the road. Always wear your PPE, including a high-vis jacket or shirt. Carry a flashlight if it's nighttime. Look before you leave. Check the ground beneath you for uneven surfaces, holes, mud, or slippery conditions. Exit using 3 points of contact all the way to the ground. Emergency signals. You will need to place roadside emergency signals out within 10 minutes of stopping, and do so according to FMCSA regulations. When walking with emergency triangles, always carry them with the reflective material towards oncoming traffic. Prior to departure, when you are ready to get back on the road, ask the emergency service personnel to stay in place with their hazards on until your triangles are retrieved from the roadside, and see if they can assist when re-entering the highway. If the service vehicle is parked in front of the tractor, then it is best for them to leave so as to not impede your departure. Merging a semi-truck from the highway shoulder back into traffic is a very dangerous maneuver and should be done with the utmost caution. A professional driver plans any merge, and especially one starting from the emergency lane. Remember, check mirrors for safe entrance. Lean and look. Rise in your seat. Look carefully to minimize blind spots and see beyond your normal view. Continuously check mirrors throughout the maneuver. When you are ready to depart, first deactivate the emergency flashers. Next, activate the left turn signal and start to accelerate the truck in the shoulder lane. Accelerate until you reach a safe speed close to that of traffic, typically 40 to 55 miles per hour. Turn back on hazards when fully in the lane if you are not yet up to minimal safe speed. Remember, oncoming motorists do not expect intrusions, so their reaction time will be delayed. It is possible that they do not even see your signal. Drive defensively and in expectation of other drivers' mistakes. Never assume the motorists around you are aware of your presence or your situation.